Good morning, everybody. Today is November 5th. Let's talk about every game happened on November 4th. Tuesday, we have six games. The first game is the Bucks. They lost to the Raptors. Bad. 128, 100. You know, the Raptors, they do have a lot of length. And historically, they have done a great job versus Giannis. Even though that was maybe back in 2019 when they first built a wall versus Giannis. Giannis played just 24 minutes here because of the blowout, 22 points. It's fine. Ryan Rowland still had 5 assists and 11 rebounds, nothing else. And Miles Turner did a bit everything. Not much going on with this team. I think out of everybody off the bench on this team, Bobby Portis, we need to pay some attention to him whenever Giannis is out, when there's a back-to-back, and Cole Anthony could be a streamer. He played 24 minutes here. He could put up some numbers as well. And then we look at the Raptors. Oh, Pirtle is back. I think Pirtle is a huge buy low right now. But just throw your your worst player at him. He should be getting a good chunk of rebound, field goal, and blocks. But don't throw him a top 50, top 60 player, because that's probably the best Pirtle will be. Throw a 100 player, top 100, top 120, right, who's performing fairly well right now, but probably don't have value for the whole season. RJ, although everybody on the Raptors, you just don't know. They're a bad team, and as the season goes on, if they're not competing, they're gonna start doing weird things with the roster. Emmanuel quickly final has a decent one with 7 assists, 2 threes, and 15 points, but still shot the ball bad. RJ Barrett, with RJ, you might want to pound free throws, 23 points, but the counting numbers is fine. Like, you can get him pretty late, and he can give you 20 points and 5 rebounds, right? 2 threes and 3 assists, that type of numbers. Scotty, huge game. Well, Scotty has been this year. So far, he's the 10th ranked player. A lot of defensive stats coming in: 4 steals and 2 blocks with 6 assists and 3 threes. And Brandon Ingram had 2 blocks. He's getting some defensive stats on this team, and 13 rebounds. So Scotty has have pretty good start. That's what and he's only shooting 73% from the free throw line as well, and he's shooting 51% from the field. So 7 rebounds, 5 assists, over 1.5 steals, and over 1.5 blocks. Yeah, he can maintain that type of numbers. This is the guy that we want to draft in the 3rd round, second or third. You pair him up with the Giannis, you pair him up with with the Thompson brothers, right? Your defensive stats, your assists, your rebound, they're gonna be great. All right, move on to the next one. We have the Magic losing to the Hawks. The Hawks, Trae Young is going to be out for a month. That don't matter. They still beat the Magic 112, 127. And Desmond Bain has just been horrible. Absolutely horrible. A buy low. Right? Buy low. But same thing with Pirtle. He's not going to be... his best case scenario this year is probably top 50 player. He might have a stretch. But, you have to play with Banchero and Wagner. And those guys are going to eat up whole lot of usage. Banchero hit his free throws this game, had 8 assists and 11 rebounds as well. But the Hawks, they're a pretty bad defensive team, and the star players didn't really play that well. 18 points for Fred Wagner. Wendell Carter Jr. had 11 points, and Jalen Suggs played 20 minutes, but he's a must roster. 20 minutes, he had 3 steals again. He's a must roster. And for the Hawks, Kristaps Porzingis, he's not going to play huge minutes this year on this team. Maybe like 28, 29 minutes a game. That's still good enough, in my opinion, for him to be like a top 40, top 50 player, depending on how many blocks he gets. Porzingis, and he's been fairly, of course, he missed a couple games. He's a 62nd ranked player, while only averaging 0.8 blocks. So if once the block numbers go up, he's going to be good. Top 50 for sure. Only 0.81, that's really low for him. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a must roster with Trae Young out. However, he really struggled here, had 7 turnovers with 4 personal fouls, but the counting numbers still look decent, 20 points and 3 threes. And Okongwu played 26 minutes off the bench. He also had 4 fouls. either way, now both guys need to be, they must roster players. Okongwu on the season. Okongwu is 83rd ranked player. Yeah, he can probably be a little bit better. Only shooting 64% from the free throw line. But he should be getting a decent chunk of run on this team as well when Trae Young is back. Jalen Johnson, not the best game, but he still has 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And Ricochet, we're not worried about him. And another decent game from Dyson Daniels, 8 for 9. He finally started shooting the ball well, and this is a great win for the Hawks. Moving on to the next one, the Sixers. Well, they lost to a game winner by Vucevic, who just every single year does this in and out. And it's positive for Joel Embiid owners. Very positive game. Played 25 minutes, so his minutes has been up and up. And, if you drafted this guy in the 5th or 6th round, like, you are perfectly happy with his production right now, I would say. He had 3 steals and 4 blocks, which is amazing here. Played 25 minutes. And, of course, he's going to struggle a lot of games because his knees are really cooked. That's not really going to get better. To be honest, Embiid is probably a liability for the Sixers right now. They probably play better without him, but they play him maybe in the hopes that he will play him back into shape. I'm not sure. Can he move? With that knee, maybe we'll see. But it's very positive, and at the same time, I would also try to sell him. Like, if you can, like, Embiid might go on a stretch where he's like a top 10 player. If you can get a top 20 player back, or top 30, a top 25, top 30-ish type of player, like, I'll be more than happy to do those type of trade. Like, if I can get a Jalen Brunson back, right? Or like if AD continues to be out, right? These type of are looking for these type of trades. Let's say Embiid start playing well. I just don't know if he can sustain this all season, and of course he's going to be out a lot. VJ Edgecombe, with Embiid, he still played huge minutes here, like 37 minutes, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals is not bad. 12. I'm really interested in to see like what going to happen to this guy's minutes when Paul George comes back. Is he still going to play close to 30 minutes, 40 minutes every night? Because if he just played 30, right, his production take a pretty big hit. That's like 25%, 30% minute reduction, right? Kelly Oubre Jr. for now, like, definitely somebody we could roster. And Quentin Grimes had 4 steals and a block. He's been going off. Quentin Grimes is a huge sell high, in my opinion. Huge sell high. With Paul George out. And Jerry McKinney is back. Look at that. Play 15 minutes. So they do have a lot of high quality players. Not to mention Tyrese Maxey, of course. 39.5 rebounds. He's really, really cooking. Really, really cooking. Just need Maxey to stay healthy. I think he's by far the number 1 option on this team. With this game, he's actually the 3rd ranked player. So of course, if you can get Luka, you can get Shea, you can get Giannis. If that fits your team, right, you make those trades. If not, fine, just hold him. For Chicago, Josh Giddey, a big triple-double. Our 2nd round player. 15 rebounds, 12 assists is good, but the peripheral stats are just really lacking. But the counting number is really good. And then he had the game-winning assist to Vucevic, who had 19, double-double. Vucevic is so consistent every single year. It's crazy. And of course, he's having a decent year. Of course he is. Nikola Vucevic is, oh my God, 14th. We have Nikola Jokic, who is already back on top, number 1 ranked player. With Wemby going off, I guess the first week or 2, and then he's back on top again. So, but Vucevic is 14th ranked player. Of course, try to sell high. If you can get shit homegrown James Harden, I'm looking at the names here. LaMelo, KD. Yeah, those are no-brainer trades. You do it. Maybe do a 2-for-1. But I think he's still gonna be good, like top 50 player rest of the way for sure. But you kind of have to remember what category. If you're in category leagues, you got to remember. Let's say you're buying him or if you're selling him. He's really, really good at efficiency. A big man that can hit free throws is a big plus. Of course, a center, right? And he also hit threes. pretty efficient, doesn't hurt you anywhere, doesn't turn the ball over, right? But he's lacking steals, I would say. So if you have a really strong team in steals, he might hurt you in that category. But everything else is great. But on the season, yeah, exactly. On the season, he's averaging point. Basically, the defensive stats. He should get more than 0.4 blocks as the season goes on. Matas, 10 points, a steal and 2 blocks and 2 threes. Not bad. He's gonna be up and down, but we just gotta hold on to him as long as he's getting the minutes. The next one is the Charlotte Hornets lost to the Pelicans 112-116, and they don't have LaMelo. I think he was out last minute or something, so they started Colin Sexton and Zion James. Yeah, if LaMelo continues to be out, these two guys can definitely be streamed. Both played okay. Zion James provided some defensive stats while Colin Sexton did what he does, 17 points. Ryan Kalkbrenner, 4 for 4, 11 rebounds. Yeah. The guy is just getting unbelievable amount of blocks. So, yeah, another 4 blocks. Like, I wonder, he's averaging 2.4 blocks. Where does that rank him in the entire NBA? Obviously, after Wemby. Let me just do a quick check. Ryan, yeah, he's the second ranked. Guess who third is? It's Isaiah Stewart. But wow. So yeah, absolutely must roster, but try to sell high. I don't know if the 2.4 blocks is sustainable. And here they did play the Pelicans. They gave Pelicans their first win. And Canupel, butcher his name. 12 rebounds, 20 points, 3 threes. He had 12 rebounds here, but most of the nights, he gets a little bit 3 on points. That's it. But he's getting a lot of minutes, so if you want to have him, sure. But guys that don't get a lot of defensive stats or no assists or free throws, those guys they're not really sexy. They're consistent. Doesn't hurt you anywhere, but for the Pelicans, I think they got their first win, and the funny thing is they did it without Zion Williamson. Trey Murphy had 21 points, 5 threes. That's great. But Trey Murphy, Zion, those guys are looking to sell if they play well throughout the season. Just the concern always, you're on the back. It's like same thing with the Utah Jazz players. Especially somebody like Zion who gets hurt a lot. Jose Alvarado came off the bench out of nowhere, had a big game with 6 assists and 2 steals and 4 threes and 18 points. Jordan Poole, horrible. Look, Poole, if I'm punting field goal and punting turnovers, I would buy low, but throw him my worst player. That's it. That's how. He's gonna have occasionally 30-point games, yes, but most nights, 6 assists, I guess is okay. 27 minutes. The next game, the Golden State Warriors, they beat the Suns 107. Curry has been struggling before this game. He kind of still kind of struggled, but had 28 points. But how about Devin Booker? 38 points, 11 for 11, 54%. He is going off right now, but his rankings in category leagues is still not good. Look his counting numbers: 31 points, 3 threes, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, while shooting 51%, 86%. 51% from the field as a shooting guard is amazing, 86%. However, he has 0.5 steals, no steals, and 4.3 turnovers, and that gives him 39th ranked player. That's why in across Night Cat. You look at his counting numbers, it's top 10, top 15, right, top 20. But overall, he's just. But I'm happy. Even if you're drafting in first round, you're probably happy with his production. It'll be great. He can get some defensive stats. But historically, he's not a guy that's known for defensive stats. So, yeah. But the counting numbers look great. Grayson Allen hit 4 threes. Royce O'Neal had 2 threes and 8 points. And how about Ryan Dunn? I think we need to pick him up. Ryan Dunn. He's been getting a lot more minutes now, and 85th ranked player. On the season, he's only averaging 25 points, but we see here that he played 31 minutes. So his minutes is trending up. 10 points, averaging 10.6 rebounds, 1.1 steals, and 1 block. Right, his efficiency, of course, we know he's going to be good. He doesn't turn the ball over. Let's pick him up and see how things go. He could be, again, across 9 categories, he could be a top 50 player because it doesn't hurt you anywhere, get you a bunch of defensive stats. And most importantly, the blocks. He's averaging 1 block a game. So pick him up, see how things go. Mark Williams played well, 16 rebounds. And, you look at the Suns roster. They Ryan down Royce O'Neal, I can't see himself. He plays really well because, you just want to surround 3-and-D guys next to Devin Booker. So if he's playing well defensively and shooting the ball well, there's no reason not to give him minutes. For the Warriors, Kuminga, played just 25 minutes. I think he's still on my roster. Jimmy Butler, oh my God, did he get hurt? He played just 14 minutes. It's classic Jimmy Butler, finally. Lower back soreness, yeah. I mean, that's why Jimmy Butler doesn't go that high in the draft because he gets hurt every single year. So now Moody comes in and goes off. It's just one game, but, if Moody starts next game, we got to think about, streaming Moody. Let's see how long Jimmy Butler is going to be out. Curry had 5 threes, 28 points. He is still ranked very high, top 12, because he's the 11th ranked player. Because he's getting 1.5 steals, averaging 27 points, and 95% from the line. So, yeah, pretty good start. Not even the best start to start the season, honestly, because he's only shooting 45% from the field. So, but, the Warriors are winning games. Of course, Draymond had 8 assists, a steal and a block. Draymond is shooting the ball very, very well to start off the season. So the Warriors, of course, they're going to be competitive in the regular season, and let's see how they do in the playoffs. Once they will get into the playoffs. So moving on to the next one, we have OKC beat the Clippers 126-107. They just cannot be beat. When are they going to lose a game? And they got Shed Holmgren back right away. 1 steal and 3 blocks, 11 rebounds. Great. SGA decided to play around, still had 30 points on 14 field goals, 12 assists, 3 blocks. Unbelievable stuff from Shea. And Cason Wallace. He's a must roster. Really try to sell him. I think just really. Jalen Williams is out. He's getting a few extra runs, but it seems like, they trust him. They start him next to Shea. He's a perfect 3-and-D guy on this team, so great. Isaiah Hartenstein played just 23 minutes, had 4 steals, right? This is a blowout. And then we look at the Clippers. Kawhi didn't play. Get some rest, Kawhi. That's fine. Harden had 25 points, 6 rebounds, 6. I will say he had 5 threes. Harden has been unbelievable health-wise. He's been unbelievable. This year, last year, so far, hopefully he can stay healthy. The narrative on Harden last couple of years is like, oh, he's old, he's injury prone. But remember, when he was on the Rockets, he doesn't miss any games. So he started having some I remember because I had him when he was on the Nets. Like, he would have hamstring. That one year, he's out in the playoffs due to hamstring issues. He had hamstring issues like repeatedly, over and over again. But now on the Clippers, he's getting healthier. So that's good. Zubac, not the best game. Zubac has not had a good start this season. And that could be due to a couple of things. But Zubac on the season, well, he's still good. 82nd ranked player. But just his scoring average is down a lot. Only 13 points on the season so far. And, 1.1 blocks is okay. But, we kind of need more from him. And his minutes is also down. 29 minutes a game. Maybe they just had a lot of blowouts. And Bogdanovic came off the bench. Finally had an okay game, but he's not fantasy relevant. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.